Do you think it's a coincidence that Brock Purdy the team doctors looked at him when he was at the training facility this week or last week, and then all of a sudden, coincidentally, the Trey Lance rumors, they were fielding calls? Do you think like there's some optimism on their part, or do you think that it's just purely coincidental?
I don't think it's coincidental. But again, I look at this in a kind of a bit of a conspiracy theory way. When you say like what the Niners want to do, my theory is that the Niners are not a united front, and that you got John with an agenda and Kyle with an agenda. And the way I see it is John is really into Brock and gung ho to trade Trey, which is defensible. And I think Kyle is a little bit caught in the middle. He's the one that wanted Trey. At the same time, he probably likes Brock too. But I think the fielding calls, well, that's John. Like who is the one that's so gung ho about, and then not just fielding calls, but like maybe leaking that you're fielding calls to Ian Rappaport. Like who's doing that? I'm guessing it's not Kyle, but I don't really know. That's the way I look at it. Not necessarily united front here.
And from their point of view, Kyle can say Jimmy was not what I wanted, and and John can go to Kyle. Well, Brock isn't what I wanted, right? And so in their
Trey
mind,
isn't
they're
what I
one
wanted.
for one. Or
Trey isn't what I wanted. Yeah.
Trey's not what I wanted.
So can't we compromise on Brock? And Kyle's like, yeah, I mean, he's good. I like him, but is he really our franchise quarterback? And I think John's like, yes. And Kyle's like, and I'm with Kyle. Dude, John gets a little excited because he won a Super Bowl with Brad Johnson, and I think he feels, man, you just have a guy who can fit in the system and be carried by the team. And like, I don't know that you can do that anymore. You did it 22 years ago.
No, I wanted to share something with you. Since 2000 to 2022, where do you think the 49ers rank in wins, out of curiosity? So 22 years. I go like, what did Steve Young get injured? 1999, 1998?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I go post Steve Young era, 2000 to 2022. What do you think they are?
Pretty much in the middle.
Oh, dead in the middle. They're like 16th and 17th. Their win percentage, 48%. Now,
okay.
So they're 48% win percentage. So they're a 500 club team, right? And so where they are the outlier is the playoffs, because they've made the playoff 8 times.
And they always go deep.
They've won 12 playoff games.
Yeah, they always go deep. They're never one and done.
So in a business model, if you are like trending water, right? Because numbers don't lie, right? They are a 500 club essentially, or 48% win percentage, but they do so well in the playoffs. Wouldn't you think getting to the playoffs would mean more or matter more to that franchise than winning a championship? Because consistency is something that you have lacked the last 22 years.
Yeah, it's just sad that the 49ers have become that. It's sad.
Yeah, well, so listen,
but I don't root for this team. I just cover it, so it's not my problem.
No. So as a fan, I know a lot of people are like, it's championship or bust, but there's something to be said that every year in November, in December, your team actually matters, and it's actually going to make the playoffs. It's consistency that I think helped them in the 80s to get all these fans, and I think they're trying to replicate it. But to your point, you got to win a couple. You got to win a few.
What is the legacy of the early 90s Bills? And I know Marv Levy got in the Hall of Fame. That's ridiculous to me. What did you accomplish? I just don't understand what the ultimate legacy is of teams like that.
So
you got close.
You got close, and I think they hang their hat on that no team will ever go 4 times again. Living in upstate New York.
Niners didn't even do that. Niners didn't even do that.
No. And
so,
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
This Niner team reminds me a lot of the Donovan McNabb Eagle teams in the 2000s. If you remember, that team never really broke out, had one chance to go to the Super Bowl, blew it against the Patriots, and they were never really the same after that. So and Andy Reid was the coach, and he got better when he got Mahomes, the better quarterback. So
that's true. That's true. Yeah. McNabb was good, not great. I'm with you on that. He's not a Hall of Fame quarterback. He was good.
He's not a Hall of Fame quarterback.
No.
And his best season came when he had Terrell Owens, whether he likes to believe it or not.
It's true.
Terrell Owens made him a lot of money as well.
No question about it. They don't really get along, do they?
No, they do not.
Well, Terrell Owens never gives any credit to any teammate he's ever had. His whole story is everyone held me back. I was the greatest. This coach held me back. This guy didn't believe me. He didn't throw me the ball. Like, that's one of the things I don't like about T.O. He's the ultimate non-team player.
I wish Steve Young had stayed. Steve Young never got injured, because I feel like there was one person that he did listen to, and you never
Jerry
heard a
too.
peep out of him. And
Jerry too.
right? It's
Those two.
Steve Young.
Yeah, I
he
mean,
did not-
when T.O. was the number 2 wide receiver on that team, he was the greatest. He was devastating. But once he became T.O. and the number 1, I was like, man, like you're crushing Jeff Garcia, dude. He's actually really good. What are you doing? Yeah, you're crushing him. Yeah.
And you know what? I would rather take the personality out, T.O., than Randy Moss, because T.O. never quit on the field like Randy Moss did.
True. T.O. was a
Right?
much better competitor than freaking Randy Moss, who would actually not run the routes that you were like. If there was a route they called you to run a square in, that used to happen on the Raiders early in the season when they had the infield dirt on. He wouldn't run on dirt, and they wouldn't know. So he would just run go routes. He would just run go routes. They're like, hold on, dude, we asked you to run a square in. He's like, nah, Randy doesn't run on dirt. And they're like, well, that would have been good information to know before we signed you to the Oakland. Anyway, I got to take
Yeah. All right. I'll see you later.